Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good morning. Well, first, thank you all for coming out today. My name is Kari, Steele, and I'm president at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. I would also like to introduce one of my board mates, Chakina Perry, Commissioner Chakina Perry. I would also like to welcome Ivan Gomez, Environmental Outreach Specialist from the Office of Congressman Brad Schneider. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to our project's contractor, Lake County Grading Company, and our design engineers from Hay and Associates. So we were in the planning stages of celebrating this completion of the Buffalo Creek Reservoir expansion just as the pandemic hit. So it's great that it's finally we get a chance to come together and celebrate. There's an interesting history about this project. In 1973, the MWRD, Lake County Forest Preserve District, and the village of Buffalo Grove agreed to acquire land and construct the original Buffalo Creek Reservoir. The reservoir was intended to provide flood protection for the rapidly developing communities of Buffalo Grove and Wheeling. Construction on the original reservoir was completed by 1983, and it was expanded in 1988. In 2011, the MWRD published a study identifying projects that would reduce flooding within the Lower Des Plaines River watershed. One such project was a further expansion of the Buffalo Creek Reservoir, intended to reduce flooding along Buffalo Creek as well as along the main stem of the Des Plaines River. At the same time, our friends in Lake County reached out to us with a planned improvement project of their own that allowed the MWRD to begin designing of the project. Since the Forest Preserve District was already planning work to expand trails and parking, the agencies agreed to work together to construct the public access improvements while incorporating the MWRD's planned reservoir expansion. Through a collaborative process and in partnership with the village of Buffalo Grove, the design combined a new trail system and 7 new boardwalks, enhancement of the preserve's natural features, and a 180-acre-foot expansion of the reservoir's volume, accounting for nearly 60 million gallons of additional storage. The additional storage is expected to reduce future flood damages by $26 million. An estimated 107 structures are now protected from various flood reoccurrence intervals, and over 2,000 structures along Buffalo Creek and the main stem Des Plaines River are receiving some form of flood protection or flood reduction benefit. Thanks to the work of Lake County Grading Company, which constructed this project just over 2 years ago. I would now like to welcome our project partner from the village of Buffalo Grove, President Beverly Sussman, who has been a resident of Buffalo Grove since 1971. Thank you, President Sussman. Welcome.
Two minds think alike because I have a number of things that were already said. Good morning. I'm very happy to be here attending the ribbon cutting of the Buffalo Creek Reservoir. This project represents the relationship between the village of Buffalo Grove, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, the village of Wheeling, Lake County Forest Preserve District, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. In 1973, and I know you all know this because you're such good listeners, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District and the Lake County Forest Preserve District and the village of Buffalo Grove entered into an agreement to acquire the land and build the Buffalo Creek Reservoir. The purpose of this project, through the cooperative efforts of all parties, was to reduce the effects of flooding on our respective communities while offering increased stormwater protection for Buffalo Grove and surrounding areas and communities and Cook County and up to the Des Plaines rivers. I found two very interesting facts. I'm a science teacher, so I always look for interesting facts. The Metropolitan Water Reclamation District expanded the reservoir by excavating over 300,000 cubic yards of material. They increased the reservoir's capacity by nearly 60 million gallons. The completion of this project will further reduce the effects of flooding and provide a safe and healthy environment for many years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President. And yes, see, we do think alike because you're a science teacher, I'm a chemist, scientist, and engineers getting it done here today. With us next is Commissioner Marah Altenberg from the Lake County Forest Preserve District. Welcome, Commissioner.
Wow, I am absolutely thrilled to be here today. This reservoir, Buffalo Creek, nobody thinks of it as a reservoir. They think of it as a beautiful, beautiful forest preserve area, and we could not be more excited to have this in our area. We are proud to partner with the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District and the Village of Buffalo Grove to help support this larger regional project and achieve our shared goals of providing improved public access, natural resource restoration, and reducing flooding. Set amid our beautiful suburbs, Buffalo Creek Forest Preserve is an emerald island, and it truly is, offering a quiet place to relax and recreate with nature. We have received tremendous feedback from the public about the improvements at this 408-acre preserve. Compared to our other preserves, Buffalo Creek has the highest number of people, nearly 139,000 people living within a 10-minute drive of its entrance. We are thrilled the community is able to benefit from the partnership between these agencies. So I'm a commissioner for the county and the Forest Preserve Board, and we have added 1.7 miles of trails, and I can't tell you how exciting that was to hear for everybody who lived in this area during COVID. I think our numbers tripled or quadrupled of the usage of this area, and to this day, everybody who came during COVID is still coming. We've had to add parking lots, we've had to add other things because it's so well liked, and it's probably the most beautiful preserve in this area. And I moved in here 23 years ago, and it looked nothing like this. And we used to bring our dog here, and we used to go on these little trails, and it was nice. It wasn't very scenic. It wasn't very illuminating when you came here. It was just like nice to be outside with your pet. I come here every time, and I am just stunned each and every time I come how beautiful it is, how the Forest Preserve was able to transform this into an absolutely beautiful, beautiful spot for all of our neighbors to use. So thank you again for your partnership with the Water Reclamation District. Buffalo Grove has gotten a very, very beautiful place to be for all of us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Our next guest is Senator Adriane Johnson from the 30th District. Welcome, Senator Johnson.
Thank you, President Steele. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to join you on this special day, and welcome to the 30th Senate District. As you know, for many years, stormwater runoff along the Buffalo Creek and the Des Plaines River caused major problems in Lake County. But with the strong efforts of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, Lake Forest Forest Preserve, and the Village of Buffalo Grove, this $9.7 million, and I know there's millions because other work was done, project with the Buffalo Creek Reservoir expansion, it has increased the existing reservoir's capacity by nearly 60 million gallons, as President Sussman mentioned, and replete with natural prairie and wetland plants. to absorb more water, this just strengthened the protections and reduced flooding concerns for Buffalo Grove and the downstream communities. I think another added benefit, as Commissioner Altenberg expressed just a few minutes ago, is just the benefits of improved recreational activities and amenities that's available at the Buffalo Creek Forest Preserve. And this is to support strong and healthy and active families, because she's absolutely right. During the pandemic, this was a safe haven for all of us, and it is beautiful. So thank you all for your hard work and ensuring that this project made the finish line. So congratulations and thanks again.
Thank you, Senator. Buffalo Creek was part of the Army Corps Des Plaines River Project Phase 1, authorized in the Federal Water Resources Development Act in 1999. This needed storage volume is helping to ease flooding on the Des Plaines River. With that, I would like to welcome Commander District Engineer Colonel Paul Culberson.
Thank you, President Steele. And thanks, everybody, for joining us today. It was just a little over 4 years ago that my predecessor was here doing the groundbreaking for this back in May of 2018. And it's just a tremendous day for me to be here, 4 years later, doing the ribbon cutting. As President Steele mentioned, this project was authorized in 1999 for the Upper Des Plaines Phase 1 project. It is one component. It is of 6 structural components that was identified and recommended to Congress from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in the Chief's report. I want to focus on our partnerships because this project was paid for, funded through MWRD, Lake County Forest Preserve. No federal funding was used on this except for some of the hydraulic modeling and some of the other aspects. But the actual funding came from those agencies for the construction. MWRD and Lake County Forest Preserve are tremendous partners of ours within the Corps, specifically for aquatic ecosystem restoration with the Lake County Forest Preserve, but also from a flood risk management standpoint with MWRD. They are our 2 largest partners within this region. I personally live out in Aurora in DuPage County, but every time I come to Lake County, it's just a tremendous opportunity, and I got to bring my wife out here so we can take part in this this area. But my point is that this project, even though it was identified for flood risk management for the Des Plaines watershed, you can take a look around at the recreational beauty, but also the aquatic ecosystem restoration that was done on here. And just tremendous job by the entire community, but also Lake County Forest Preserve and MWRD. And it's an honor to be here to join with them for the ribbon cutting today. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel, once again. The Village of Wheeling is one of the primary beneficiaries of this project's stormwater improvements. We will hear next from Wheeling Village Manager John Sundilis. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Oh, no worries. Normally, when I hear my name, they just stop at S, and I know it's me, John. So thank you. That was well done. I am the manager for the Village of Wheeling, and on behalf of the President, Board of Trustees, and perhaps most importantly, the residents and businesses of the Village of Wheeling, I'm excited to be here this morning celebrating this extraordinary accomplishment. I echo the comments and compliments of our previous speakers. We, all of us here, on behalf of our various communities, are so fortunate to have the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District representing the mitigation needs of our towns. Water knows no boundaries, and certainly flood mitigation is not something that can be accomplished within municipal boundaries. The only way to combat Mother Nature is for local efforts to be reinforced through regional projects like the Buffalo Creek Reservoir Expansion Project. Wheeling, who is downstream from the basin and is a direct beneficiary of this project, is no stranger to the negative impacts of stormwater. We have a long and storied history of suffering the impacts of rogue rainwater. I started my career with Wheeling nearly 30 years ago in the Department of Public Works and spent far too many days in waders trudging through feet of water that had collected on our residential streets. Since then, the village has spent millions of dollars on various capital projects to great effect. But the problem and the solution are not solely locally based. That's what makes this project, both from its design philosophy to its specific engineering, so significant. It is regional. Much like the Levy 37 project completed in 2015, the beneficiaries are those communities downstream. Levy 37 was constructed in Wheeling and directly benefits Prospect Heights, Mount Prospect, Des Plaines, and so on downstream. This project, with its beautiful and useful presence in Buffalo Grove, will also serve Wheeling and all those communities further down the watershed. This is a perfect example of think local, act regional. The engineering makes the water go where it belongs, but that's step two, and although no easy feat in itself, sometimes the easy part. These projects work because of the unyielding commitment, interagency cooperation, and financial contribution of MWRD, local agencies, U.S. Army Corps, federal, state, and county agencies. On behalf of all area businesses and residents, thank you.
Thank you, John. Well, that wraps up the speaking portion of our program. We will head over to the ribbon to finally have the ribbon cutting ceremony we've been waiting for years, and I thank all of you all for coming this afternoon. Thank you, and will all the speakers please join me at the ribbon?